I see London, I see France, I don't remember the rest of that. But should we go? We'll go to London. Howdy and welcome back. I'm Mike, your board gaming every dude, and this is En Route, a stroll and write game. We're going to be doing a solo playthrough. This is a 1 to 4 player game, but we're going solo today. This review copy was provided by the publisher, that is Crowd Games. I think that's how you say it. It's like Crow, capital D. They are also the publishers of Fabled, which I've got a playthrough of that. Designed by Philip Ivanov. Graphic design, Lena Krylova and Ekaterina Mamontova. I hope I got that right. If upon watching this playthrough you are interested in the game, there's a link in the description and in the pinned comment. It's available for retail right now. Let's play, shall we? So this is a flip and write game, which means you flip a card and then you write something somewhere on the board. We are tour guides trying to attract tourists to various locations all around town. We do this by placing tourists in locations and creating our route as the tour guide. Whoever's the best tour guide gets the most points wins. This is a 1 to 4 player game, and I want to show you some of the options you have. So there are many different cities that you can play as. This is your player board. If you're playing multiplayer, each player gets their own map. I will tell you there's quite a bit of interactivity with the flipping and choosing of cards, though. But anyway, you got different cities. You got First City, which is a fictional town, and that's where you start out. It's a good beginner spot. And then there are different challenge levels for other cities. We got Rio de Janeiro. That would be like your level 1, and it introduces some new rules. Then you've got Cairo, and over here we've got Berlin, right? No, Hong Kong. We've got Hong Kong, and these are probably like a 2-star level with new rules as well. You can see different landscapes. Then we've got London, which we're going to be doing. This is going to be a level 1 with its own unique rules with the underground train station and the River Thames causing trouble. And then, of course, we've got Paris, which is super advanced. So that's going to be your 3-star. And New York, which is also going to be a 3-star. We are not touching that today. We are sticking with London. When you're playing multiplayer, everybody's going to have their own city board, their own player reference, which has when you're the active player or first player, and every other time that you're playing. And there will be a round tracker and sites board for each city. You see, the game has 10 rounds exactly. Game ends after the 10th round is over. In a multiplayer game, every character gets to start with 3 cards in their hand. In the multiplayer game, you get to keep a lot of information secret. So your cards, personal objectives, and things are all kept private. For this solo game, we're all friends. So we get to know everything. There is a team mode if you want to play with a bunch of people cooperatively. If you're weird like that, and that could be it. You don't have to complicate the game further. But once you learn the basic game, you probably all want to draw a personal objective, which you keep private. And you'll also randomly draw 3 different bonus goals. Again, for your first game, leave those out. But there's an A goal, B goal, and C goal. Seagull. You're going to randomly draw one of them. For the solo game setup, everything is pretty much the same, except you only get 2 cards in your hand. You use the solo player reference, and you have this solo challenge table for your city. You'll see each city has one. And then, of course, you've got your round deck over here, which is only used in the solo mode. You'll see there are 10 cards for 10 rounds. For beginners as well, there's this fun little bonus card that you can use one time to help make the game a little easier, balance it out if you're playing against more experienced players. In a multiplayer game, normally you score points for all of these things, so that's going to be your 3 different types of tourists. You've got your red tourists and your green tourists. Your red tourists are like really outgoing, terrifying, and your green tourists love nature. Boy, do they love nature. And your blue tourists just love art. And you'll see you have sites that kind of correspond to those colors. You got red sites that red tourists prefer, and blue sites and green sites. Then, of course, we have our iconic locations over here, and these are going to be gray. Tower of London, St. Paul's Cathedral, and Big Ben for London. Every city has different ones. And then we've got our yellow or more common sites that everybody loves and are just worth a certain amount of points. Anyway, the point is, in a multiplayer game, generally you get points for the number of tourists attracted to different attractions. You also would get points for completing the goals and having a majority in one of those goals, or in other words, getting the most points, completing it the best. And you would also get points for each of the iconic locations that you visited. You'd put your grand total down here. Solo works different. You get points for everything except for these 3 goals. Instead, what you do in a solo game is you pick your challenge level. So for this one, we're going to go with beginner tour guide. This is my first time in London. Come on. That means I need 120 points, prestige points. That's the little star there to win. All right. So I got to beat that. But also, if I complete one of my goals, I get a bronze. That's great. If I complete 2 of my goals, any 2, I get a silver. And if I complete all 3, I am a gold star tour guide. Last time I did the first city and I only got bronze. So I want to aim for silver this time. If I do better, that's great. So I want to try to complete 2 goals and get over 120 points. So what are the goals this time? Let's see. Unexpected turn. 10 plus. That means the total number of turns on the route. And you can see on the map there, that means I'd get 1 counted for every corner that I turn. So I want to get 10 or more to complete that. For this one, 3 or more, that's the number of cafes on the route. Okay, we've got cafes, these little coffee cups you see. So as long as my route crosses one of those, I just need to cross 3 of them. These tourists need their Starbuckians, don't they? And then we've got a London-specific goal here, the River Thames for tourists. Oh boy, 12 or more, the number of tourists in locations adjacent to the River Thames. Oh dear. Okay, so this is the River Thames right here. So I need 12 or more tourists placed in locations along my route, along the River Thames. That's going to be a challenge. I think I can definitely go for these 2. We'll see about that. Now, I also get my personal objective, which in multiplayer I would keep secret. But since we are not keeping it secret, I get to mark these points on my map. So this is right here. You see you have a nice grid of 1 through 6. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That would be what our y-axis, and then our x, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're down here at 1, 2, 3, 4. The intersection of 4 and 1. Okay. So I'm going to put that right there. And then I've got this one right here at the intersection of 2 and 1. And an intersection down at 6 and 6. Okay. I can get rid of this for the rest of the game. This is going to give me bonus points. I don't have to do it, but I will get points for having the longest path between any of these points here. Correction, between any 2 of these points. Now, something special. In London, we have the subway system, also called the tubes or the underground train system. And there are, 6 or 7 of these special underground cards in a multiplayer game. You would secretly draw one and look at it, keep it private. And you'll see that 2 of the train stations, the underground train stations, the Tubey system, are marked. We've got Victoria and Tower Hill. We see where they are on the map down there. I've got Victoria. I've got Tower Hill. I'm allowed to, for free, draw 1 route next to either of these stations. I know I'm going to want to be near the river, so I think I'm going to put something right there, like that. In the multiplayer game, again, you would keep that secret at first till everybody's drawn theirs down. Then you get to flip it over. And if I understood it right, you get to put your route right there. Now, of course, for solo, we don't need to keep secrets from ourselves because that would be weird, which is fun. Weird is great, but can be confusing. We're going to draw 2 cards from our tourist deck there of 36 cards. It's got mixed in regular tourist cards and special ones for London. Each city has their own special cards. And we're going to play. Round 1, turn 1. I'm going to pick one of my 2 cards to play for this round. And I'm really thinking that it's going to be this one right here, this tourist. So I'm going to put this to the side. And now I pick one of the 3 available cards that are visible. So I've got a 1 red tourist. I've got another Tower of London, number 3, and a number 4 red tourist here. How do I know what to pick? Well, first of all, we want to look at our number. That is going to refer to one of our accesses or coordinates here. So that means I'm going to be placing tourists and a route somewhere near a 6 coordinate, right? It can be either one. So I'm going to pick the other coordinate to cross with it. So let's say, just for the sake, I'm going to do 6, 4 for this round. So these are my active coordinates. That means I can do 6, 4 right here, or I could do 6, 4 right here. Either one of those locations in either order. I pick one of those and I place my tourist there. How do I know what tourist to place? I just look here. I get one green and I get one red. I want to take advantage of this Thames theme, even though I don't see how I can do it, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to try it. So we've got one tourist there and we've got our red tourist as well. Then we got something special here. See, he's Tower of London. That means I go over here and I mark a check on the Tower of London. That means the Tower of London is now worth more points for having a route that goes around it. When I say that a route goes around it, it means it covers at least one full side. So in this case, we would be passing the Tower of London if this is on my final route. In the multiplayer game, you can play advanced mode where you actually get to erase instead of adding to the points, so you can mess with other people's goals. But we ain't doing that for this. Now I get to draw my route. I get to draw 2 sections connected to the coordinates I just did. So that means anything along a side here. As long as I cover one of those sides, so I can go like this, and then like this, or I can go like this, and this, that, and that. You get the idea. If I don't like any of those options, I can place one route. So just one, like right there, anywhere on the board at all, but I only get to do one. You don't make your final route till the end of the game, so you can put routes all over the board, hoping to connect them by the end. I am not so inclined, so I'm going to stay here, and I see this is Tower Bridge, which is worth 7 points if I add it to my route, and I'd make a corner, so I'm going to go like 1, and I think I'm going to go 2, just like that. Now, here's an interesting thing that's unique to London. These underground train stations, I could actually make a route over here, so I could go like that. And what could happen is I could have my tourists go on their route, go to Tower Hill, and then come out at Victoria and keep the route going because they're connected by the train. But you can only do that type of connection once per game. And again, that's unique to London. You won't see that in First City. That's the end of the round. So I discard my 2 tourists. I gain another card to my hand. So I have more to play with. And we now have a repeat card. So what this does is it says repeat twice one tourist from the other card. So if I were to put down my, say, repeat card and this one here, that means we've got one red tourist. I would repeat twice one tourist from the other card. So that would mean I would add 2 red tourists. And oh boy, I've got all coordinates like all up in here now. So I'm not going to be able to connect directly. So I may want to plan on, I think I want this circle and this circle to connect on my path for the most points. Dog howdy. So let's go ahead and do a 2. I also want to get a coffee shop, so maybe a 1 and a 1 would kind of be great. Let's do that. Let's start there. Let's go 1 and 1. We're going to repeat, so that's 2 tourists, plus I'm going to repeat one of those twice. That's a total of 4 red tourists in 1, 1. So we just put them in there, even though they don't love being at the park. Maybe I'll get them on the path to some sites that they want to see. Maybe the Borough Market down there. Now I can, and I want to start at this coffee shop. So I'm going to circle it, which means, all right, cool. We are actually visiting a cafe if this is on my final route. Then I could go 1. I could go to Russell Square, actually, and come out at Tower Hill. But I want this bonus of connecting as well. So I think I will leave my options open. I'm going to go 1 and 2, the cafes all have different icons. There are 3 different types of cafes with special bonuses. This one lets me draw one route anywhere on the map at any time. If I do that, I exit out. I've used the ability. If I don't use that ability at the end of the game, it is worth 2 points. There are 2 other types of cafes. The +-1 lets you add a plus or -1 to any coordinate card. And the tourists here, this one you have to use immediately. That one you can use at any time. Adding a tourist, you get to add a blue and a red tourist. You have to add it immediately to the coordinates that's current for this round. Or you can just not use it and have 2 points. That's it, round 2. We're on to round 3. You can see how this really gets to moving. Oh my goodness, all these low coordinates, but that's okay. We've got blue and green tourists, and we have to use the 3. So we are using that and a 2. What do I want more? Do I want more? Well, so far I want more green tourist than blue. So coordinates 3 and 2, I can either go right here or I can go right here. And I definitely want to go right there. Yeah, that's where I want to go. So let's add 1 red and 2 green tourists. 1 red, and then we're going to put Pickles and Pockles right there. Pickles and Pockles and Judy all hanging out together in the middle of nowhere like a bunch of bums, but that's okay. It's okay. And we're going to add as many curves as we can in here. We're going to visit this coffee shop. And I'm going to go 1 and 2. Good. So we've got 2 cafes and we've got this starting point. We're doing all right there. I don't want to use the cafes yet. Save them for the end. Discard, which now means we reveal the next uncovered row. And I get my card. Normally you would track these rounds in a multiplayer game by either checking it off or writing the coordinates if you need to go back and refresh your memory. In a solo game, you're able to track it just by how many cards are left. Okay, so I've got a repeat, coordinate 5 into 2, or a coordinate 4. St. Paul's Cathedral is right here. We may actually go by that, so I think I'm going to pick that one for this red tourist. And I feel like I've got enough reds out there. Let's add some blue. 4 and 2 is actually perfect. The other would be 4 and 5, which is down by the river. That's good. You know, we want to get down there. Or it could be 4 and 5. So it could be like 4 and we could be at the borough market and start connecting these things. That's not a bad plan. Come back over the bridge. I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to risk it. Okay. So we're going to have 2 red, we're going to have a tourist and then 2 more because it's a repeat card. So that's going to be 3 reds in coordinates 4 and 5, the borough market. And the reds want to be there anyway. 2 and 3 tourists. St. Paul's Cathedral is going to be worth 6 points now if that's on my final route. And dog howdy, I'm going to make it part of that route. Let's go ahead and just connect these. Why not? We're going to go 1, and I should be doing more turns, but I want to go over this Millennium Bridge, you know? We're going to turn anyway, so I'm going to go 1 and 2, and there's nothing else to circle. Nice job. Next round, we've got 2 and 5, and a 4. We want a 4. So 4 and 5 is going to put right here again. So here's what's interesting. You cannot place tourists on any section where there are already tourists. So I would have to pick a different sector, or I guess a different site if we're talking in tourist language. You know what? I made a mistake back there. I'm going to cheat live on camera, just like this. That's right. I'm a time-traveling tourist. Hate me for it. That's what I should have done. And then I'll work on connecting this. Yes, sir. Anyway, where were we? We were at there's going to be a 4. Okay, so it's going to be somewhere in here, and it's either going to be 4, 2. So if I use the 2, we can go here, or we can go here. I don't really love that, so that's an option. I like that one. Our other option would be 5 and 4, which is not possible there because I already have tourist. So we could do this one right here instead. I don't love that. So we're going to do this one. We're going to do this. We're going to do 4 and 2. All right, where are you at? And that's 3 blue tourists. 4 and 2 right here. 3 blues. 1, Johnny, Bonnie, and Tawny. Why not? With that lovely tawny skin. Okay. Johnny, Bonnie, and Tawny. I got to remember, I've got that ±1 if I want to use it as well. But I'm not desperate. I kind of want to save it for if I'm desperate. I want to add as many curves as possible. So I'm going to go 1, and I want to pass St. Paul's Cathedral. Yes, sir, I sure do. That's the end of that. And let's see what our next 3 troublemakers, Dom and Perion, and Stella, and Charade, right there. And Charade likes Big Ben, Dom and Perion, coordinates of 1. What do I have? I've got Tower of London, 5, and I've got another repeat card. I must not have shuffled all the repeats. Doesn't matter. 5 and 3. So I want to start getting these connected, even though we've got 5 rounds left. And how many? 10 turns? How many turns do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, and that will be 8 if I connect that one for free. So I'm getting pretty good. All right, can I get here? This is a 3 and a 5. I can do that right now, y'all. I'm going to do a 5 and a 3. That's right, Shahrazad. I don't remember your name, but here we are. Champagne. We've got a green tourist and a blue tourist. 3, 5, 5, 3, right there. I'm going to do, there you go. And our little square, ever so, right there. My route, you guessed it, is going to have twists and turns, but I actually want to pass this green site here for all my green tourists and then come down so that we have this connection here. All right, so again, the green tourists want me to go by greens, blues want me to go by blue, reds want me to go by reds. I have not gone by any blues. I messed up here at the British Museum. I should have gone around it. So I got to please these blues somehow. But I'm kind of in trouble. I'm in trouble. That's all right. We're going to figure it out. Tower of London gets a point. So that's going to be worth 8 points now to pass that. And goodbye, y'all. Who do we have next? We've got my repeat. And we've got some blue tourists here taking a selfie. Look, I got them that coffee. I mean, they're really into blue. They got blue fingernails and everything. That is coordination. All right, y'all. I need a 3rd cafe added. So I've got a cafe here that I can visit. I've got another. I wonder if I could start. Could I start here? Go over to Waterloo. Could I start here? Go over to Waterloo. Come out there, like start here in Westminster Ave. So do I have any 2s? I don't. I have a 3. That's what I want to play. I want to play a 3 and a 6, which of course I don't have. I've got a 3 and a 5. So I'm going to get crazy here, and I'm going to cross out my cafe. Now we still visit it. I'm just using its special ability, so it's not worth points now. So we're going to make that a 3 and a 6. And we're going to put our tourist right there. So that's going to be 3 reds because of my repeat. All right, here we go. Bobby, Hobby, and Tobby right there. All right, Tobby's the jokester of the crew. So he tried to swim across the river, and we were like, you're going to die because it's Thames, and that's not very clean. But, you can't stop the kid. So here we go. I'm going to draw a route from Waterloo, I think. Yeah, this is crazy. I don't know why I'm doing this. The point was to pass Westminster Abbey, right? And to add turns. So I could go like 1, 2. That's what we're going to do. That way I'm passing the London Eye and Westminster Abbey, but I'm missing the Lambert Bridge. I could cross that bridge for 7 points if I go the other way. And then I'm not passing the London Eye, though. I want these red sites even more. I think it's more important. So that's what we're going to do. I've got a freebie path to connect if I need it. And what am I doing? Am I totally forgetting about the cafe? Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. I need that cafe to connect. Oh dear, I'm in trouble. I am in trouble. Paging Dr. Beat. No, not here. Not now. All right, Tower of London, 6 and a 2. I want to get here. So a 6 and a 1 is perfect. All right, 6 and 1. And 4 tourists right there. 1, they're in a park and they shouldn't be. They should be in a museum because these blues, they don't get their hands dirty like the greens do. But we'll live with it. And I'm going to do my path of 1 and 2. There's our cafe. I have to add those tourists immediately or keep it for points. I'm going to add the tourists. Oops, we don't have purple tourists in this one. There are some cities that do have purple tourists, but they are not welcome in London. That's right. They are currently on, exile or something. I don't know. We don't really ask about it. We don't know what they did. Okay. They defaced property at the museum. So, of course, I cross that out, so it's not worth points. But that's my 3rd cafe, and I've got to have 10 curves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And if these connect, that'll be 10. And that has to connect. So I need to connect these 2. I've got a freebie. So really, I just need to connect one of these. So let's see what cards I have left. All right, so bye-bye. Let's reveal our last 2 options. 6 and 1. 6 is good. I need a 6. And you know what? I've got a 2 right here, but I'm going to draw. I've got a 5 and a 2. This is a 6 and 2. So, dog howdy, let's do it. Right? Yeah, let's just do it. And did I mark? Yeah, I don't think I missed anything. All right, Tower of London and St. Paul's Cathedral. Tower of London is now worth 10 points. St. Paul's Cathedral, no love for Big Ben this game. No love for Big Ben, and we're passing both of these sites, which is great. I want it to be that way. And, oh boy. Okay, 6-2, right there, perfect. So we're going to go, it's kind of a waste, actually. What am I going to do? Am I going to go, you know what? I'm going to give myself options. I'm going to go 1, and I'm going to go 2. And I'll be able to decide, do I want to pass that London Eye or do I want to cross the bridge? We'll see when I make the final route. All right, goodbye, y'all. Oh, put my tourists in. Oh, y'all didn't tell me. All right. I'm sorry, Shav. So we've got Chevalier right here in Westminster Abbey? Yeah, Chevalier. There you go. And Chandelier right here at Westminster Abbey. And who'd have known it? They caught eyes, and they are so happy they met on this tour. We might be witnessing love. Draw my card. These are my final coordinates. So I have to use a 1 or 1. That's not going to do me any good, honestly. So we may end up drawing a line elsewhere instead of wherever I place these fools. But I could place them, say, okay, so they can't go there. So 5 and 1, I could place some there. That's not bad. Or 4 and 1 doesn't do me any good. 5 and 1 does me some good. Or 5 and 1 doesn't do me any good, doesn't do me. So this is the one. Okay, so we're doing 5 and 1. St. Paul's Cathedral again. Boy, I tell you, no love for Big Ben. And we're putting 3 green tourists in 5 and 1, which is great. I want y'all here on this boring residential street, but do you know what this boring residential street has? A single tree. We love that tree. Bob Ross put it there himself, and we love him for it. Now, for my route, I guess I can add, and this will be even longer. Actually, that's wonderful. I know that gap's there, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start there to make a longer connection from this all the way to that is going to be worth more points than this to that or this to this. So that's 1, and I may as well start at, yellow here at Trafalgar Square and Big Ben. Big Ben is still worth 4 points. Let's do it. I'm passing both Trafalgar Square and Big Ben, so that's a pretty decent start. Then I'm going to cross out my path ability. I'm going to draw 1 path for free. Boy, I hope I didn't mess this up. And I'm going to discard these. Now we're to the end of the game where my voice cracks because we're going back to puberty. That is a part of this whole tourist thing. You get to start when you turn 13. You're allowed to work in London as a tour guide at 13. Fun fact, absolute truth. Don't look it up to fact check that. I'm going to pick my final path. That means I'm going to erase any routes like this one that don't create my longest or my preferred. It doesn't have to be the longest, just whatever tour route is going to get me the most points, but it has to connect from beginning to end. It can loop around itself, but you can only cross the same street once. So I can't go like square. No, people don't want to do that. They want to pass different sites, but you can cross over intersections if you need to. I didn't happen to do that. I planned this out pretty well, I think. So I'm just going to keep this as my final route, which means that this is of no use. We're going to start there. And we didn't have to use any trains or anything. So now I look at my tourists. Any tourists that are not along my route to attract attention, I erase from the board. So far, they're along the route if you cover one of the sides of their site. And so far, I don't think I have any wasted tourists. We placed them pretty well. This is a well-organized game. Now, we just go straight to scoring. All right, did I complete goal A? 10 or more number of turns on the route. I sure did. So I'm going to get a check there. In a multiplayer game, you'd write how many points you got. If you won the most, then you get that 17 points. Everyone else who just completed it, you'd get the 9 points. How about the gastronomic tour? I did get 3 cafes, so we're good. 12 or more tourists in locations adjacent to the River Thames. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, dog howdy, come on. I missed it by 1. You're kidding me. Find me 1. 1, maybe that. Wait, or did I count those? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Count with me. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yes. Yeah, that's 12, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Boom. Shaka waka. Okay. Now, how many points for these common sites? So that's any yellows that we actually pass. We're going to be taking people past Trafalgar Square, so we get 6 points for that. Now, our iconic locations. Tower of London, we pass that. That's going to be worth 10 points. I love it. We are going to pass St. Paul's Cathedral for 10 points as well. So that's going to be 20. I'll take it. And we do pass Big Ben. So that's 24 points right there. I'll take it. Unused cafes, sorry. No unused cafes, so nothing there. Bridges. We do cross the Tower Bridge, so that's 7 points. And I didn't go with the Lambton Bridge route, so that's only one of them. So that's 7 points right there. 4 points for each of these stations that we go through. Let's see right here. Victoria, Waterloo, that's 2. Tower Hill, that's 3. And something up there is 4. That's awesome. So that's 16. Okay. I think I took us on a tour of the trains. I think I got all the trains in there. Didn't mean to, but I'll take it. Now I score my personal objective. I count the number of sections between 1 point and another of those 3 that I circled in the beginning. So we've got from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 sections. That's 18 points right there. Now we score up our tourists. The number of red tourists on the route. Let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 red tourists multiplied by the number of red locations. So we're going to the London Eye, that's 1. Borough Market is 2. So times 2, we've got 28 points right there for our red tourists. And we love them for it. Then we've got, that's the phrase of the day, whatever phrase of the day. Green tourists. We've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm not sure why I made them circles, but it's fine. Boy, I don't have as many. I've got a lot of outgoing people, but these garden folk weren't as into London. All right. Anyway, 8 of them. So 8 tourists. And how many green locations? We went to this lovely park up here. We went to the Sky Garden. We got a couple in there. Buckingham Palace and Gardens. So we got 3. Hey, that's still 24 points. And let's check out our blues. All right, folks, you wanted to see museums. And I feel like I kind of let you down, but I took you to a couple spots. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We've got 10 of you blues. We love that. And I took you to, we almost went to the British Museum, and I was like, hey, no, we went over there. Coming around, let's see. We didn't go to Shakespeare Globe either. I had an aversion to the arts this time. Imperial War Museum for 1, Westminster Abbey for 2. So that's 10 times 2. That's going to be 20 points. Y'all don't need to be seeing this, but here we are. I'm going to be mathing up. I'm going to math up in my head, and that's scary. 30, 37, 47, 50. See, I'm already lost. 37, 47. 57 minus 4 is 53. 63. That's going to be 71. Okay, so we're at 71 right there. And we've got here 20, 40, 68, 72, 143 total points. And my objective card, how did I do? Let's see, other than thumbing off my little thing there. All right, 143 points is what I got. And I did get I got 3 objectives done. Okay, 143. So I will have you know that my 13-year-old self beginner tour guide did a gold star flipping the card upside down job. Fantastic. So that's it. Thank you so much. Stay with me. You can see it erases off beautifully. If you're interested in grabbing this, it is available at retail now. Link is in the description below. Ask questions. let me know what other decisions I should have made. Have you been to London? I would love to know if you've been to London, or if you have any comments about this map versus your own London map. Do you live in London? Talk to me. I'm out of here. Love you all. I'll see you next time.